concerned about traffic patterns.
I did do that here for a while.
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying. We haven't been moving around like you.
That's right.
I mean, we know how to go to grammar.
Right, at least we got an excuse, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're all over the map. We're not high powered like you are.
I don't know about that.
You know.
All right, everybody good?
Hold up for a second here.
Adam handing out compliments to you?
Well, I told him I really felt him on the daughter clenching everything into the GPS thing. That one really hit home, man. I was like, yeah.
Teenagers these days, you know.
With their gadgets.
That's not. That's the adjustable. Chip, when Matt talks about coaching the team
Yeah,
as if you lost,
yeah.
you had a lot of good on Saturday. What are some of those high points, red zone offense
Yeah.
this week? I mean, just sort of walk us through the prospect of coaching your group as they go.
Yeah, I think you're always trying to improve and learn. And we did some good things Saturday. We still did a lot of things that we got to improve on if we're gonna be where we want to be. I think Coach always has talked about going from good to great, and that's our goal. And to do that, we had to improve. And we weren't very good in the red zone. Now, Syracuse is, they do a good job down there. They overload the box and they force you to make decisions quickly and get the ball out of your hand. They did a nice job of that stuff, and they did that on film as well. And but at the end of the day, I think you're always looking for something to push your guys to improve. You never want them to feel like, and the same thing goes the other way too. Sometimes when you don't play well in the past years, you go back and you show them, hey, look at the things that we did well, and look at why we didn't succeed on these other things. And that way, because I think you want to keep the team hungry, and then at the same time, when things don't go your way, you don't want them to feel like you got no chance. So I think that's the part about coaching that's special, and Coach Brown does a great job of that. All the experience he's had, the different scenarios over the year, we're always pushing our guys to improve and really play to our standard. That's something we talk about a lot, and we break everything down into phases of the game. Like you said, red zone, third downs, drive starters, starting the game. We were better on first down Saturday. That was an emphasis for us last week because we had a lot of second longs, which is never good because that leads usually to third longs, right? So I think that's important, and as long as we keep trying to improve and really, like I said, hold ourselves to that standard, and hopefully we'll continue to improve throughout the year.
Syracuse brings a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
They bring it from different places. They stall it some. They give you a lot of different looks. Was that as well as the O-line is graded out as far as communication and being alert for all the different things they're going to have to deal with?
Yeah, I think so, and I really told them that yesterday in our meeting. I was like, I'm really proud of the way. Because I'll be honest with you, there was times last week when we were preparing, I was like, wow, this is ugly. We got because they're unique in how they play defense, and they really try to disrupt your O-line communication-wise, like you mentioned, run game and pass game. And smart quarterback and smart center, that helps. That's where it all starts, the communication piece. Drake has a lot of freedom to get us in and out of the right protections and so forth. And Corey does a great job up front of IDing that where everybody's on the same page. Because it doesn't matter how many guys are in there. If you're all on the same page on how we're going to block something, it may not be quite the best way all the time, but at least you have a chance. The issues come up when the communication's not good and not everybody executes it. And I thought as a whole, we did a pretty nice job of that on Saturday.
How nice is it to be able to have a game plan in place where it can include Tez Walker as an option?
Oh, yeah, huge. Big. It's exciting, getting ready to play. He's a talented player. Y'all saw a little bit of that on Saturday. And, getting him late and all that, I thought he handled everything great. I thought Drake did as well because the temptation would be to go out there and force the ball to him, and I don't think we did that. We missed him on a throw where he was wide open. We had another one where we probably could have gone to him, went to a different guy. But no, it's exciting. I know Tez is excited. I've never seen a kid more humble and thankful for his opportunity. And hats off to our administration, our people in this community here that worked extremely hard to help get that done. And it's great. It's great to see. That's the fun side of college athletics, or seeing kids like him have this opportunity and with all he's been through. And we're just excited to have him back. And now it's time for him to get kind of in a normal week.
And kind of follow up on that really quick.
Yeah.
Mac mentioned that on the long near touchdown to Nate, it seemed like the safety was kind of shading more towards Tez as recognizing what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Schematically, what more do you expect to see Tez bring to not just his offense?
Yeah. Well, I think when you have good players in the game, that makes it more difficult. And not that we haven't had that before. I just think Tez is a little bit of a difference maker in a lot of ways, and hopefully that helps open a lot of other things up, including being able to run the ball, as well as they can't really overload you sometimes when you have good players outside. If you do, if they do, you have to make them pay. You have to do that, and so I think it's huge. We recruited those guys here for a reason, and I think you saw a little bit of that on Saturday, and just got to keep plugging it. The season's a grind. We've said that all along, and keep preparing each and every week. And now he's in the game plan, so that's going to be. I'm excited. Probably a shot in the arm for the offense.
Chip, I know that Monty was working with Tez a little bit on Thursday, just kind of, figuring things out. For you, though, with such a short notice, having an extra guy in there, can you kind of describe what that process was of trying to kind of work him in and different plays and all that?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on Friday during the day and Friday night going, okay, based on what we're going to see, which sometimes you think but you don't, how can we, get him involved in the game plan? I think that was key, and leaned on Lonnie a lot for that. Lonnie's a very experienced coach, really, really good. I mean, he's as good as I've been around as a receiver coach, but also understanding the passing game and schemes and how to scheme different things. And I lean on him a whole lot. In fact, this whole staff's phenomenal, and that's what makes it fun when you have a group of guys who are all kind of on the same page and working together. And you get out responsibilities to each of these people. They come in with fresh ideas, and then it's my job to narrow the things down and figure out, okay, how much can we do? But that process was a lot more intense on Friday than usually we have, because I'm saying, okay, we're going to have him available. How much do we play him? When do we play him? What personnel groups is he in? And I thought it went as good as we could have. We had 2 opportunities to hit him down the field, and we didn't for whatever reason. But it was definitely something that I thought a lot about.
Just real quick as a follow-up to that, you did mention the process of working them back now for the rest of the season. How much does the spring and the fall kind of help with, I don't know what the right term would be, but how much does that help in the process of figuring things out for the rest of the year?
As far as knowing Tez?
Yeah, as far as having worked with him in the spring and the fall.
Yeah, I think that's a huge benefit. We did get a ton of reps for him in the spring and fall camp, and so I'm very familiar with kind of the things that he does well, and maybe some of the things that other guys do. But Tez is very talented, as well as a lot of the other guys we have. So I just think from my standpoint is, where does he fit in the flow of the offense? Let's don't force things. Let's don't try to make something be there when it's not, schematically or whatever. But again, this whole offense coming together, getting the guards back was huge. Getting Nate back, 2 games ago was huge, and now Tez, you feel like, okay, here we go. This is the offense that we dreamed about and wanted to have. And not to say that we're a finished product. We got a lot of things to improve on, but it's a good start for us here going into week 6.
Chip, and I was going to say in the last 30 seconds of that Miami game the other night, were you watching it live?
You know what? I wasn't. I watched bits and pieces of it. I had some family in town, but it was. I know a little bit about it, but it's a tough deal.
I was going to say in the last 30 seconds, it was a nightmare finish for one offensive coaching staff and a dream finish for the other. As a part of the coaching fraternity, you have to know how that feels.
That's I don't the details of how they go about doing stuff. I have no idea, but it's a tough business. I mean, you're definitely putting yourself out there every weekend trying to make the best decisions you can. Nobody wants to make a mistake, whether it's a play call or whether it's a situational thing or anything like that. And that's one of those things that we try our best not to do, but at the same time, sometimes things happen, and we do our best and try not to let it happen here for sure.
Chip, the goal line flipped to Copenhagen for the touchdown after the long completion to Nate. Is that was it drawn up that way for Drake to just kind of push it to John like that, or is that an option where he can hand it off?
No, it's an RPO. It just this team that we played, Syracuse, they're going to overload you in the box. So sometimes their cover 0 you got to pull it because you hand it. They got unblocked guys, and that's basically what happened. And nobody went with him, so therefore he was open, and it's just Drake making a play there. But it's designed that, hey, hopefully we've got 2 or 3 options when the ball snapped, as a lot of our stuff is set up that way, and that was just another one of those situations.
But not designed for him to just kind of push it like that.
Oh, the way he threw it? No, probably not. No. Just like the left-handed throw at Pitt, no, it's not designed that way. Those options are there, but You know, at the end of the day, like, I think we got to remember that, like, our job is to get our players in the best position to make plays. Drake's a talented player. So, you know, give them those opportunities and then let them play. You know, I think that's important. You don't want to create robots out there, but the things that make Drake, I think, successful are his ability to make plays on the move. At the same time, there's risk involved with that, taking hits and so forth. So there's that fine line you're always walking about, you know, not restricting him because he's a talented guy, but at the same time keeping him healthy. And but that was a great example of him making a play there, and Cope as well.
Seemed like the run game got back on track.
Yep.
And statistically, one of the better run defenses you guys have faced this year. Was it as simple as getting Willie Lincoln back, or was there something that you saw amongst the group collectively that maybe you hadn't seen specifically in those 2 games against Minnesota Pitt where the run game kind of slowed down?
Well, I think we were facing a totally different style of defense, and I think the ability to play fast and get the ball on the edge some was big. Willie, getting him back it's always about the players. If we're really being honest, I mean, the schemes are great, and a lot of people get a lot of credit for schemes. Sometimes it's really about the players, and you know, there's no new really plays out there. There's no magic schematics out there when you really look at things. It's about your players and trying to put them in position as many times as you can to be successful. I thought Randy had a great run game plan that we worked for, you know, 10 days, I guess, or the 2 weeks, the bye week, and our players went out and executed it. And getting Willie back was huge. And Willie's a tough guy that is going to play, you know, play hard, play physical, play fast. And him feeling good and being able to change direction was huge. And I think it helped some of our other guys too, because it took some reps off of those guys. And that group as a unit, I told you, I think 2 weeks ago, we want to have 8 guys that can play. And when they're all healthy, I think that helps. That only helps us and makes us a better team.
How much better is the O-line when Willie's out there? And what are some of the absolutes with him that you know he's going to execute this and that in every game?
Yeah, you know, he's got a wrestling background, so he does a great job of playing with pad level and leverage, and he's a really good technician. He has to be, because he's somewhat undersized. So I think for that, and plus he's played a whole lot before he got here. He's got a lot of game reps. He's played a ton. Ed's played a ton too, and then you factor in Adorno, who's played more. So I think that combination, Will Barnes back in there at guard some, has been good. Those 4 guys at guard and being able to move them and rotate them some, I think keeps guys fresh, it keeps guys hungry, and it keeps competition too every day in practice, because they're competing to play, and that's what you want, competitive every day.
Chip, that did you want to go ahead?
You go.
That 5 that you did have, I hear you on the rotating and playing it, I got you on that.
Yep.
But the 5 that you had Saturday, that was your 4th different offensive line starting group in the 5 games this year. Do you think that's your best 5 here moving forward with the guys in the specific slots you got?
I don't think you can say that, because Randy creates competition every day out there in practice, and you know, the day in, day out grind of it, of who practices the best, we're trying to play. That's really what we're trying to do. Now sometimes injury overrules that or trumps that, you know, in some ways, but creating that competition at every spot is what you're trying to do. And guys need to go out and practice well. Coach says all the time, you know, what you do in practice shows up in the games, and he's 100% right. And we try to really lean on that. At the same time, we understand that, you know, I think we snapped the ball 97 times, so we don't want to play 5 guys for 97 snaps if we can help it. And as much as we can rotate and keep guys fresh, it helps with injuries and everything else.
When you look at Miami, top-ranked rush defense in the country,
Yeah.
teams under 60 yards a game.
Yep.
What challenges do you see them presenting you guys, and how confident are you guys in your ability to respond to that challenge given the inconsistency that's been from the industry?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. These guys are talented. They are, you can see they've really improved in recruiting and gotten better players there, it looks like. You know, I've not played these guys really. I don't know if I've ever played against them. So just comparing it to the past and what I've seen from afar, I think Coach Cristobal does a great job in recruiting. He was at Alabama when I was at Auburn, so I've run across him over the years. And they've done a nice job filling in there. They're extremely talented. They're very fast. They fly to the ball. They tackle in space. They play with an edge. I mean, it's a huge challenge for us. It's one of the better defenses we've seen, if not the best, all year. And our guys we got to have a great week of preparation to be ready to go. But you know, our guys will respond. It won't be about effort. It'll be about us executing and seeing if we can do it. And we got to help them and try to put them as a staff in the best position we can to be successful. And that's our goal starting today.
Chip, is there
Last one for Chip.
is there any football reason or reason you can point to as a coach of how many of these deep balls have ended up going down at the 1 yard line? Like, or is that just sort of is that a shrug emoji? Like,
Yeah, me and Drake were laughing about that last week. It's crazy, isn't it? It seems like, I don't know if you guys have counted them, but it seems like at least 6 or 8 maybe. And then, of course, he throws one behind Kobe, and Kobe tips it and does the fantastic play. But I said, you know what? Things balance out sometimes, because that probably shouldn't have been a touchdown. But you know, we need about 5 more of those to make it even close to even. But no, it's been interesting. We it seems like that's happened to us for whatever reason. But man, that's just part of it. And you control the things you control and figure out how to score no matter what. That's the whole key. And we got to do a better job this week in the red zone. And it's a huge challenge, but one we're excited about for sure. All right, y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Chip.